My name is Elizabeth Edith Kingbird. My original name is Baptiste. It's supposed to be Zabadis, low flying eagle, as in Indian. That was my birth last name. Baptiste is supposed to be Zabadis, low flying eagle. That's my name. And I live in Panema, and my father was name is Peter Baptiste, and my mother's name is Edith Baptiste. And I lived there for I don't know how many years, but when I was 6 years old, my dad and my uncle went hunting across the Narrows. And it was kind of in the spring of the year where the ice kind of breaks up and floats here and there. But they went anyway. My dad was looking for a deer, a buck, an antler with antlers, because he wanted the antlers. But there was a deer that they spotted, and my uncle got up and started aiming, and my dad said, no, don't do that. He said, there's a baby there someplace. He said, no. He said, bang. He shot it anyway. And he went over there. Sure enough, there was a baby deer laying there. He couldn't get up yet. He's just tiny. So my dad got kind of angry at him. He said, I tried to tell you there was something there that you wouldn't go. So he really felt bad about it. So he put out tobacco there where that mother deer laid. And they didn't bring it home. I don't know what they did with it. They might have buried it too. I don't know. But they brought the baby home in a glove. And when they came home, they were riding in a boat and missing all those icebergs, it's the spring of the year when it was born, I guess. Anyway, he came and they docked at our landing, and he came in and he was holding something like this. And I said, what do you got there, Dad? He said, I brought something here for you, he said. You got to take care of it. He said, you don't have no mommy. I put it in my hand, I kind of almost dropped it, I just went back and hung on to it, and it was nothing but all legs, just long legs, and it was crying like that, It's like a lamb. I said, where did you get that? He said, Uncle shot the mother and didn't know that their baby was there. So I brought the baby home so you could take care of it. So I didn't know whether it was a male or female, I didn't know nothing about that. At that time, 6 years old, and he said, what are you going to name it? Oh, I'm going to name it Jeff. It was a she. It was a female. Well, my mom and dad and them looked at each other, I guess, and they told me later that they didn't know whether to change it or not. Well, that's her choice, so we'll just leave it at Jeff. So she grew up in the house, and then my mother got a baby bottle, those old-fashioned baby bottles where you clip the nipple right on a bottle, and then she tied it tight, because the first time she did it, she pulled the nipple right off so hard, she had such a suction. So she tied it up with a string, and then I feed it, and it would just go like this. Well, till she gets done with the whole bottle. Then she'll stand around there and want some more. I don't know whether we should give her some more, but maybe half a bottle. My dad said, they eat good, they eat lots, he said. So my mother put half and half water and half milk. In those days, we had to have stamps in order to get milk. If you don't have stamps, you don't get no milk. So she half milk and half water. And then we shook it up and gave it to me, so I gave it to her. And no time it was gone. So I took her upstairs, laid with her on my bed, and she would, just like a lamb, just like that. And I'd kick her like this here, hold her, and rock her. I had dolls, so I took the doll's big blanket, rock her like that. Had her with me all the time. I never even went played outside at all. My friends would come over and said, she's upstairs with her deer. With what? Her deer. She got a little deer from her dad. You can't go up there though, because she's busy. She's taking care of it. So as the years went by, she got bigger, and she would lay lengthwise on my bed there and upstairs, put her arm on me like this, and her nostrils back here go. Oh, gee, Jeff, you're noisy when you sleep. She put her head up like this and then lay down again. Right on my neck here, So I just let her snore. And then when we get up in the morning, she'd jump up right away, run downstairs, look for milk. My mother used to give it to her. Then I'd go get dressed, and wash up and then get ready for school. And it didn't bother me when I went to school. But after she became a year old and 2 years old, when I go to the bus there, she'd be right behind me and she'd jump right in the bus too. So the bus driver said, we can't take her to school. I looked back and that's the first time I seen her there. I said, so I had to take her out and I hollered for my dad, come and get her, And then when the bus was leaving, I could look back there in that back window. Look back there. She was going like this to my dad, while he was holding her. He took her in the house and locked her up in there till she came back, till I came home. So when I came home, he seen the bus coming. He put her outside. And she knew right away that was going to be me getting off. She just ran to the road there and stood there on a bank there, because there's a little dip like that there. She stood right on the grassy bank there, and I got off and ran around there, and she jumping around, just showing off in front of me, So we walked back to the house together, and she ate carrots and whatever we give her, she'd eat, and lots of times they don't. But then another thing too, she got away from me, and my grandmother, my dad got my grandma she used to chew tobacco, just not snuff, just tobacco, and she got those Prince Albert cans, he got her one of those, took it to her, and so she was playing around out there, and she ran over to my grandma's. So she said, oh, goodness sakes, she was in Indian, honey, Kiwin. She told her, go home, Here, she went outside. My grandma was making fire outside there. She always cooks outside in the summertime. Here, inside there, she ate up all her tobacco, that whole can of Prince Albert. My grandma was chasing her around all over, trying to hit her. She couldn't get her. She ran home. And then my mom seen her, what's that on her face there? All over her. And I told her, I said, she got into Grandma's tobacco. I said, she ate it all up. Oh my goodness, I hope she don't get sick. She didn't. She didn't get sick. She was over there again the next day, and then Grandma said, Ojibwemotaadiwin nishan. It means get out of here. Ojibwemotaadiwin. You get down there and my tobacco, you ate up my tobacco. So she took off, she went back home. We hung around over there. Every time the bus stops, when I get on, she's right behind me. So my dad had to go wait at the road, hang on to her while I get on a bus and and she'd squirm and squirm while the bus driver takes off. And then, who should be outside at the school? Her. All the kids were just enjoying her being over there. My dad had to come chugging on his old car to come and get her. She found me. She sniffed me all the way to the school. And the school was about from here to the mission school. That's how far she went to see me. And she found me. And she was just putting her hoofs down like that, trying to stay. But my dad just grabbed her like that, put her in there in that old car. It was an old, I think it was a 39 Chevy or Dodge or something. I don't know what it was. It was an old car anyway. It is now, but it was nice to me. So, that was that. So yeah, pretty soon she'd go big, you know. She was 2 years old, 3 years old. Pretty soon she was 4 years old, she'd go for she's been gone 2 days. She don't even come home. So I started looking for her out in the woods there, and I looked and looked, calling her name. I said, Jeff, where are you? My grandma said, oh, leave her alone. She's busy. So I didn't know what she meant by that either, you know. So when she came home 2 days later, she'd come up and she went and looked for me upstairs. Clunk, 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 you know. I said, where were you? You're supposed to stay home here with me. You just run away from me. She put her head down like that, you know. She understood me. So I said, you stay here now, you go to bed too. So she got on the bed and laid down and went to sleep with me. And the next day, she went out the door. My mom opened the door there. She ran out, took off for the woods. So she must have had a boyfriend then. So I was just broken-hearted when she would be gone 2-3 days, you know. Finally, my dad said, oh, she must have a husband. I cried, he don't have a husband, he's a deer. I said, you know, I was crying. So one day, about 2 weeks later, she came home. My aunt was there. And then my mom had a camera. She took a picture of her, my aunt, and a deer, and she took a picture of the deer. And here, she put her camera down, and that deer jumped up on my mom like this here, and just kissed her like, you know, what are you doing anyway? Cut it out, you know. And she got down. And then she went over to my dad, did the same thing. My dad happened to come out from the house, and he ran over and jumped on her and hugged him, and then did the same thing. My aunt was taking pictures at that time, and then she was going for her too, but she stopped after she took a picture of her. Then I was the last one. She come to me, and she jumped on me, and I fell over, and when we were wrestling there, I didn't know she was just, you know, licking me up to the last time. That was the last time I seen her, and I cried, for a long time, for about a week. I looked for her out the woods. I couldn't find her no place at all. And my dad said, she found a mate. What is a mate? I said. She found a husband. No, she don't have no husband. I felt bad because I lost my best pal and she was gone. But she came and gave us all a kiss and left. Gave us all a hug. Sorry I have to cry, but I still miss her to this day. I talk about her all the time. I got pictures of her though. tamigabaway hindi siya nikas. May kanawin naman hindi siya nikas. May panay isnikaso ko yan. Manukia. Abinoti niwich ayawag. Higwich.